The Christians, they claim that Jesus is God because of his miracles. However, the Muslims, they acknowledge that prophets of God, they do miracles. So let's do the analysis. Does doing miracles make a person more than a human? Well, the Muslim position is this, that Allah or God appointed prophets and messengers, and Allah empowered them with miracles to deliver God's message and God's guidance. But miracles were not done only by Jesus. According to the Bible also, many prophets, almost every prophet of the Old Testament, they did miracles. For example, Moses, he parted the Red Sea. Just because he parted the Red Sea does not make Moses to be as God. Elijah, he called the fire from the heavens. That was his miracle. Joshua, he stopped the sun and the moon in the sky. Yes, that's an amazing miracle. Daniel, he survived the lion's den. Jonah, we all know Jonah in the fish. Jonah was swallowed by the fish, and then Jonah, he survived. However, it's important for us to know that miracles are done by God. It was the power of God who's doing these miracles, not by the power of these prophets. Who is saying that? The Quran says that in chapter 3 of the Quran, verse number 49, speaking about the miracles of Jesus, he used to make birds of clay and he used to breathe into them, and then they used to fly off. Jesus used to heal the blind, he used to heal the lepers, and then he also used to raise people from the dead. But then God says that it is by the power, the permission of God that Jesus was doing those miracles. But what about the Bible? All the miracles of Jesus, they're coming from God. For example, it says in the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse number 30, Jesus is saying to his people that I of myself, I cannot do anything. Whatever I hear, I judge, and my judgment is true because I seek not my own will, but the will of God who sent me. So Jesus is attributing his miracle to the power of God, not to himself. He's saying, I cannot do anything. God is the one who's doing these miracles. So at this point, my Christian friends, they may interrupt me and they say, yes, all the miracles that the prophets they did of the past, fine, those are good miracles, but they are simple. But Jesus raised people from the dead. They may say that, right? No other prophet raised, only God can raise a person from dead. And Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. That means Jesus has to be God. Let me remind our Christian friends, even in the Old Testament, Ezekiel, he revived some dead bones of a person and the person came to life. Elisha, he revived a boy. Elisha, he raised this dead boy back to life. So does it make Ezekiel as God? Does it make Elisha as God? No, the Christians may say, yeah, but these are prophets. They were using the power of God to do the miracles. Exactly the same point that Jesus, he did miracles. He raised people from the dead by the power of God. So in conclusion, my dear friends, it's important for us to know that Jesus was a special man. He was a prophet. His power to do the miracles, they were coming from God. He preached the message of God and submitting to one God. That was the message of Islam. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he also did miracles. He healed the sick people. He went from Mecca all the way to Jerusalem and then to the seven heavens at the blink of an eye, and he met many prophets. That was also his miracle. And he split the moon into two halves. That was also his miracle. Just because these miracles are unique, no one did miracles like this before Muhammad, peace be upon him. Muslims don't worship Muhammad, peace be upon him, because we know the power for him to do the miracles was not coming from him, it was coming from God. So to God we praise and to God we worship. So I invite my Jewish friends, my Hindu friends, especially my Christian friends and all the non-Muslim brothers and sisters to look into Islam, to worship the one creator, not to worship humans and prophets and messengers and idols and the creation, but to submit and worship the one creator. So to learn more about Jesus in Islam, to learn more about Islam in general, go to the website gainpeace.com or give us a call at 1-800-662-ISLAM.